They say when you marry a person, you marry their whole family. But nobody told Amaka that sometimes the family you marry might just destroy yours. Amaka was the type of woman everyone admired. A successful caterer in Port Harcourt, polished, kind, the kind of wife that kept her home clean, prayed every morning, and never forgot birthdays, even her in-laws. Her husband, Chuka, was a quiet man, soft-spoken, a project manager. They were 5 years into their marriage. No kids yet, but their love had rhythm, gentle, patient, until the call came. Chuka spoke gently on the phone. Mama's sick, and Papa too. They can't stay alone anymore, Amaka. I think they should come stay with us. That's how it started. A decision born from love. Or was it obligation? Amaka hesitated. Not because she didn't love them, but because she knew something most people wouldn't dare admit out loud. Her mother-in-law, Mama Nena, did not like her. It was a rainy Tuesday. The clouds were gray. Thunder grumbled in the distance, almost as if the sky itself was warning her. Chuka's parents arrived with 2 large Ghana must-go bags, a bucket of fermented locust beans, and a third person, Ngozi, Chuka's younger sister. Amaka's smile didn't falter. Amaka hugged Mama. Welcome, Mama. Welcome, Papa. Ngozi, you look so grown. But behind Mama Nena's eyes, something was watching, judging, waiting. It started with whispers. At first, it was just comments Mama would say in Igbo while Amara was in the kitchen. She know they put enough pepper. Maybe that's why she never born. The next day, her plate was smaller than everyone else's. Then the water she boiled for Mama's bath was too hot. The next day, too cold. Then she didn't sweep under the bed, and somehow Amaka began to shrink in her own home. One night, Amaka overheard something strange. From the guest room where Mama and Papa stayed, she heard a low chant, old Igbo words, something she hadn't heard since her childhood in the village. She told Chuka, Chuka, you're imagining things, babe. They're just praying. But that same night, the framed picture of our wedding fell off the wall. Twice. It was a Sunday. Amaka cooked pounded yam and oha soup. She made sure the pepper was balanced, the meat soft. Everyone sat. Then Mama pushed her plate away. Mama shouted loudly, this soup has no spirit. No woman who cooks like this can give a man strength. Chuka said nothing. And that silence, it cut Amaka deeper than any insult. The next morning, Amaka found Ngozi scrubbing the kitchen. Ngozi said to her, Mama said the kitchen needs cleansing, spiritually. They burned camphor, sprinkled something on the floor, said it was native salt to remove dryness in the womb. Amaka locked herself in the room and wept. Was she being tested, or was something darker happening? Later that week, Chuka got a promotion. Everyone celebrated, but Mama pulled Chuka aside. Mama, whispering, be careful. Some women use sweetness to cover their emptiness. Your destiny is bigger than this. Amaka overheard. That night, she left the food untouched on the table. She went to bed without a word. And Chuka, he followed his mother to the veranda instead. One night, Amaka had a dream. An old woman in white stood by her bedside. The old woman said, they have come to test your roots. Will you fight or will you bend? She woke up sweating. The next day, she called her mother, Mama Amaka, on phone. My daughter, you must return to the village. Talk to Enna Ogwu, your father's brother. There's something you need to know about your husband's lineage. It was early morning. Fog clung to the trees like spirits that hadn't left. Amaka stood before Enna Ogwu, her late father's brother, an old Dibia who walked with a cane carved from Iroko wood. Enna Ogwu, studying her, said with a calm yet assuring voice, your womb is not dry, my daughter. It's being watched, caged by words spoken in anger. and rituals performed in your own home. Amaka gasped. He gave her 3 things: a calabash filled with river sand, a white cloth, and a message: take back your ground. Back in Port Harcourt, Amaka returned quiet, but changed. That night, while everyone slept, she took the sand and sprinkled it at each entrance of the house, speaking softly in her native tongue. Amaka, whispering, no weapon formed in shadow shall dwell here. This is my home. I command peace. The air grew thick. A breeze blew indoors, and in the guest room, Mama Nena's eyes snapped open. She knew something had shifted. The next morning, Amaka cooked fried plantain and eggs, boiled yam, hot tea. She served everyone. Mama Nena, narrowing eyes. You went to the village? Amaka said calmly. I went to remember who I am. Mama stood furious. You dare bring that nonsense here? Amaka stood too, her voice steady. This is my home. You entered it and called my womb empty. You lit fires in secret, but no more. The house was silent. Even the ceiling fan seemed to pause. And from that moment, Mama stopped eating her food. 3 nights later, Ngozi fell sick. She complained of heat in her stomach, vomited feathers. Yes, feathers. The hospital found nothing. Then Papa Chuka started shouting in his sleep, screaming names from his past. Whatever they brought with them was beginning to turn on them. Amaka stayed strong. She fasted, prayed, cleaned the house with the white cloth Anna Ogu gave her. And then one night, Chuka cried. He found Amaka on the balcony. Chuka, tears in his eyes, now realizing all his mother had done, said to Amaka, I knew Mama never accepted you, but I didn't know it would get this far. I was afraid to choose, but now I choose peace. I choose you. For the first time, he saw what she had endured, and that was when healing began. 2 days later, Mama packed her things. Mama Nena, coldly, not every wife wins in the end, but you're lucky. Amaka said gently, no, Mama, I'm covered. Papa said nothing, just nodded, maybe in regret, maybe in relief. Ngozi left too, quiet, with her head down, and the house felt lighter. Weeks passed. Amaka and Chuka laughed again. The air was clear. The walls once tense now echoed joy. Then one morning, it happened. 2 pink lines, a pregnancy test. Amaka knelt, eyes filled with tears. Amaka, you have restored me, Lord. You've restored me. 9 months later, a baby boy cried for the first time in that same house where spiritual war had once raged. They named him Kamsi Chukwu, as I have asked from God. And Mama? Well, she came to visit again, older, softer, quiet. She held the child, and for the first time ever, called Amaka, my daughter. Sometimes the enemy is not outside. It is the silence you keep, the lines you allow others to cross, and the power you forget you have. When the in-laws came to stay, they brought fire. But Amaka, she became the storm that cleansed it all. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more powerful tales. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, your voice matters in this space.